Hey guys, today I am coming on to talk about my nails for a minute. So, for some of you that have been following me, I have been using a product called Nail Boo for, I want to say, maybe about 7 or 8 months, if that long. Um, but I have learned that in the process, because I used to be an acrylic girl prior to wearing the dip powder. When I used to go into the salon and get my nails done, I would always do acrylic. And one of the things I'm finding that I don't like about the dip is having to always redo a new application every time. With acrylic, you just go in and you fill in, where you have the little space and you're going about your business. That's not the case with the dip powder. Dip powder, you got to take the entire application off and start all over. So what I did is um I purchased the acrylic kit from the beauty supply store for $15.99, and I'm going to attempt to do my own nails using the acrylic. Now, that doesn't mean that at some point in time I may not go back to Nail Boo, but for the meantime, I think I want to try because I'm having such a hard time with my right hand nails growing. And so earlier today, I did my nails. Um, this nail right here broke, so it is a tip, but the rest of these are my nails. So I think I like how they turned out. One of the things I had to remember is that with acrylic, I have to go back to fingernail polish. So I had to buy some fingernail polish. So I'm going to walk through the process for those of you that may want to try to do your own nails. Now, keep in mind, this is my first time ever using acrylic on my own nails. In the kit, you're going to get the clear acrylic powder that's going to come with it. And then you're going to get nail glue for your artificial nail. You're also going to get your file. Um, you're going to get the brush for you to use to pick up your acrylic powder bead. And then you're going to get the acrylic liquid, which is your Mortimer, along with your primer. So anytime you're doing artificial nails, you really do need to use a primer. It helps to adhere the nails so that it'll stay on longer. You're also going to get your buffer so you can buff your nails in the end. And you're also going to get the cuticle pusher so that you can go in and push your cuticles down. Now, I've already done mine, and you guys can see how short my right hand is. This is the hand I've struggled with. They'll grow, they break easily on the right hand, but now on my left hand, I don't understand it. I guess it's because I am right-handed and I use this hand more, but I never had problems with my right hand when I was just doing acrylic. So I'm going to try to see what happens with the acrylic for about a month or so. I'm going to try it and see how it works. And then you're going to get, in this kit, it came with the natural artificial nails and instructions. It comes with the instructions. And then it also comes with, if you want to actually create your own tip without using the artificial nails, it will also come with this little set right here where you can create your own nails or sculpt your own nails is what they call it. I'm not that good. I know that there were times when I would go to the nail salon and my nail tech would sculpt a nail when I didn't want to put on a fake nail. She would sculpt a nail, especially if it was just one that I just needed some help, with growing back out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk through the process. I'm not going to use the instructions because, like I said, I already went through the process today and did this hand. And so I'm going to walk through the process now and do this hand. And I'll explain it to you as I go. Okay. So again, this does not mean that I will never use Nail Boo again, but right now I got to get my right hand growing because I'm sick of it. And so I'm going to see if the acrylic will make a difference. So trying to get the nails open. I don't want to I don't want them all to just pour out on the floor. So I'm going to pull this down so you can kind of see here. So these are the nails. And so we're going to put them down here. And one of the things that you want to do is you want to get the nail and you want to make sure that the nail covers from left to right, from the left side to the right side of your nail. You don't want it too short and you don't want it hanging over. So, you know, you want to make sure that it fits just right. So I think that one is a little too big for my pinky. I think these two are the same size. I'm going to put them together. Now, one of the things, they don't number these. I know I've seen artificial nails that have a number on them. These don't have a number. So I can't make sure that, you know, this is an 8 and that's a 7 and that's a whatever, whatever. I think that's good for this nail. So I'm going to sit that there. And all I'm doing is just trying to measure out where I'm going to place each nail. And again, I want to make sure, hopefully you guys can see that, you want it to cover from the left side of your nail to the right side. And you can always use the nail file to kind of file it a little bit on the end to get it to fit. But I think that might do for my pinky. I might have to change up, but right now I got my pinky and my finger next to it. And now we're going to work this middle one and see what we get. If it doesn't cover all the way, what will happen is you'll end up with bubbles and water and stuff being able to get in it, and the nail will lift. So you do not want that. I don't like wearing artificial nails, so I will tell you that much. But at this point, I need something that's going to help my right hand to grow out. And acrylic never failed me before. So again, I'm just going to try it for, I say, about a week or two. It may be longer, just to give my right hand a chance to kind of grow out. And then I may go with a different dip powder or dip product other than Nail Boo, because that's what I've been considering. But I will keep you guys posted. And I hate to have this kind of down while I'm talking to you, but I want you to be able to see what I'm doing here. So I'm just trying to match up my nail to the artificial nail. And I got 4 fingers measured out pretty good. And the good thing about me using these artificial nails is that this hand is short, so I don't have to worry about filing my nails down or cutting my nails, since these nails are already short. So I think I'm going to have to use this one and just kind of file it a little bit on the edge. So I'm trying to hold it where you guys can see it. Hopefully you guys can see that, but you want to make sure that it's going from one corner to the other corner. And then if it's a little bit excess hanging over, then you can file it a little bit to get it to fit just right. So I think I'm going to stick with what I have here. And I'm going to put these back. So you're going to get enough nails to make sure that it'll cover both hands. You want to make sure that you've washed your hands, and you want to make sure that you have pushed your cuticles back. I've already done that. Pushed my cuticles back and cleaned around my cuticle area. But you do have your little cuticle stick here, wooden stick here, and I broke mine earlier because I stepped on it, but it's okay. I still have both ends like I need it. So Anyway, I've already done my cuticles, but you'll just take the cuticle stick and you want to push the cuticle back. You want to push those cuticles back like that, not going straight on like this, straight down like that, but kind of like at an angle, and just do it gently. And you can see, like I said, I've already done mine. All right, and what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to use this nail file to kind of buff my nails, because I want to have them a little bit where there's no shine or gloss or any type of oil, because then you'll have problems with the artificial nails adhering to your nail, the bed of your nail. So you want to make sure that you buff or kind of file your nails a little bit, not too much, but just enough so you can get anything that may be on there, any type of product or oil or shine. So you want to get them kind of rough looking. You can see like that. And it is amazing when you look for one thing, you can't find it, but when you're not looking for that one thing, it's always in your face. All right, so I'm just gonna brush off where I just filed my nails, kind of clean that up a little bit. And just want to make sure my nails don't have anything under them, because that would not be cute. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pour the acrylic liquid over into the little dapper, this little container here. And I will tell you, if you've never gotten your nails done before, or if you're thinking about considering, since of COVID-19, doing your own nails, this liquid does have a bad smell to it. So I will tell you that. I did see a lady on YouTube that was doing her nails with the same kit, but it came with some kind of apple stuff, flavoring that she could pour in there that was to cut down on the smell of this, but she said it didn't help. So that just goes to tell you how strong this acrylic liquid is. This is the Mortimer. So we're going to go ahead and pour the Mortimer a little bit over into the container, into the dapper here. Make sure you cover that back up. You don't want to spill anything. Get your acrylic powder. And this is clear. And get your glue ready. So we're going to be putting the glue in the, we're going to be putting the glue in the bed of the artificial nail, and then placing it on our nail. Now you want to make sure that you have it more so along the tip, so that you can have enough of your natural nail to adhere the product to. Okay, so I'm going to be putting it about there, if you guys can see that when I start. Before I do that, you're going to take your primer, and you are going to, before we put our product on, we will be using the primer. So I'm going to go ahead and get my my artificial nails on. And so I may use the file here. I'm going to put that to the side here, just to see if I'm going to need it. And I think that's good. So I'm just going to put a little bit of nail glue in the bed here. And then I'm going to hold and press down for about 5 seconds. And I want to make sure it's straight on. Okay. And then I kind of like to hold it on the side to make sure that I get it good and on the sides there. So that's one. We're going to take a look at the next one. Okay. I'll go ahead and put glue. And again, we're going to hold it down for about 5 seconds. Trying to make sure I get it straight. The last thing you want to do is get it on and it's Cricut. All right. There we go. And now we're going to go to our middle finger here. Again, just measuring. This one has a little bit of too much on the edge, so I'm just going to kind of file it just a little bit, kind of get it more to the size I need. These are very, very delicate, guys, so you don't have to file a whole lot or press really hard when you're doing it. Okay, that's better. Now I'm going to cut these nails so that they'll be the same or close to the same size as this other hand. But it's been a minute since my nails have been this long on this side, so I may not get them quite as long. And yeah, a little bit of extra glue on that one. All right. So we got our nail on. And 3 down, 2 to go. So again, you're going to use your nail glue. And just place it in the bed of that artificial nail. Turn that baby around. Press down for about 5 seconds. So far, that's where we stand. And one more finger. Now, when you finish using your nail glue, guys, always wipe off the top, because if you don't, the next time you go in to use your nail glue, you're going to have a hard time getting the lid off. So it's always good, once you get finished using it, to make sure that you go in and wipe the top off. I'm just pressing down here. Okay. I'm just going to wipe off the top of the nail glue of any product, any nail glue on there, and that way I don't have to worry about the next time I go to use it, I can't get the lid off or the top off. So we're done with the glue. I'm going to sit those over there. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut them And I'm just going to use a little pair of scissors to cut them. And again, I want to get them as close to my left hand as possible. And so, you know, they may be a little bit smaller, but I'm okay with that. Okay. And then I'm just going to clip on the very edge because I like mine kind of oval. So it just kind of helps me get the oval shape going. And, you know, it's kind of hard when you're doing your own nails, right? So I don't want them super long on this hand. So again, I'm just clipping them a little bit on each edge. So it'll make it that much easier for me to get the oval shape going. And I'm kind of just cutting them to the length I just want to work with on this hand. Okay. So you don't have to go out and buy any type of, you know, nail cutters or anything like that. You can just take a pair of scissors, nice sharp scissors, and it'll do the job, as you can see here. And again, I'm not concerned if they're not quite as long as my other hand. I just need a nail. I'm tired of this hand looking crazy. All right, so now I have cut them all down to size. I'm now going to go ahead and kind of shape them a little bit. And remember, these nails are very delicate, so it doesn't take a lot of filing at this point. And once you get the product on, you're going to kind of file it anyway. So I'm just trying to get that oval shape, more of the oval shape as opposed to square. Okay. So you always know that, you know, I'm right-handed, so if you're right-handed, it's hard to do your right hand with your left hand. So for me to do this hand with you guys, it takes a lot. All right, you can see the shape coming along there. And then once we get the shape going in the right direction, we're then going to file the artificial nail where it meets the natural nail so that it's a smooth transition from the artificial nail to the natural nail, because you want the acrylic to lay smoothly. You don't want it to look bumpy, you know, like you got a big hump right in here. So this just helps to go ahead and make it easy to get your shape going before you put the product on. And then of course you can do any additional shaping once you get the product on. But for me, it was much easier to do it this way. All right, so now you can see the hand with all of the nails going in the more oval shape as opposed to square. If you want to do the square, then when you cut them, just don't clip them on the ends like I did. Okay, clip them on the end, you're going to get more of the oval shape. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to file a little bit here where the artificial nail meets the natural nail, and that's to kind of make it a smooth transition so that when I apply the application, it doesn't look bumpy. Okay, and you can kind of feel, you know, if there's like a bump in there. It's easier for me on the right hand to turn my hand over and file it that way. Now, I did watch a lot of YouTube videos before I decided to transition to do this, because to me, dip powder is easier. And that's why I said I'll do this until I get my right hand to grow out, and then I'll go back to the dip powder. I can't say for certain if I'm going to go back to nail glue. I'm going to put a little bit of glue right in there because I see it's kind of like not sitting like I want it to. And again, just kind of feel, and you can feel if you feel like a hump, and just kind of buff it out. Like I said, it does not take a lot because these nails are so thin and delicate. And I just kind of hit it on the back like that to make sure I don't have any sharp edges back there. All right. Cooking with gas. I'm only 26 minutes in. But again, I think acrylic takes longer than dip powder. Because once you get finished with the dip powder process, you're done. You have your color and everything. With acrylic, I got to go in and I got to, polish my nails, which I'm not too good on. I think it looks okay for a first time, but, I wouldn't want to have to do this all the time. So that's why I said I will go back to a dip powder or a dip product. This is the primer. And the good thing about this, guys, is the primer, it helps to adhere the nail, the acrylic powder. It helps to adhere the product and ensure that it stays on longer. So I'm just trying to get a little bit of glue under this side over here because it looks like it's not sitting like I would want it to. So I'm going to see if I can kind of bend it a little bit. So you want to make sure that you do use the primer. And what you're going to do is you're going to put the primer on your nail, on the bed of your nail. You're not putting the primer on the artificial nail. And the thing I liked about this, you don't use a lot of the primer. You're just putting it on the bed of the nail here, of your natural nail. And the thing I liked about this is that it came with the brush, because I've had primers that the brush, it didn't come with the brush. And notice I only use what was on the brush. You don't want to keep dipping it because you don't have to use a lot of the primer. You don't want to soak the nail in the primer. And we're done. Now we are ready to apply the application. Now, guys, again, this is my right hand. I'm right-handed, but I'm using the left hand to do the right hand, so bear with me. Hopefully it's not gonna look a hot mess, but I make you no promises. These I didn't have to worry about, so much because they're my own nail besides this one. So you can see I didn't do too bad with shaping this artificial nail, to get it to look like my nail, but it's not perfect, but I can only imagine, So when you're using the Mortimer, which is the acrylic liquid and the acrylic powder, you want to make sure that after you place the acrylic powder onto your nail and smoothing it out, or excuse me, after you dip the brush into the Mortimer and then get the bead and put it on there, you want to make sure that before you go back in that you kind of, brush in between each finger, so that you have more of a clean brush for each time you apply the application or the acrylic to your nail. So It's going to be hard for me, but I'm going to get through it. I promise you I'm going to get through it one way or another, even if my nails look a little bumpy. But you can buff it out, so don't panic. You can buff it out in the end, um, or file it out, I mean. So you're just going to drag this across the acrylic liquid until you get like a little bead. And then you're going to go ahead and place that down. And then you kind of want to just pat it to kind of get it to spread. So you're not using it like you're, polishing your nails where you're brushing. You just place the bead on and then you kind of pat it down to fill it up. Okay. And we're going to go in again. And you don't want too much of the liquid on here, because then it's going to be too wet, and if it's too wet, it's not going to adhere well. So you just kind of put it down and then kind of pat it. To get the shape going. So you're not brushing, so to speak. You're just kind of patting. And you do want to make sure you get those sides. All right, so I forgot to wipe the last time, but you do want to wipe your brush off in between going back into the Mortimer again. Okay, so you can kind of see what it's looking like. I have a little bit of a spot right there I need to get, so I'm going to go back in one more time and just get a little bead, because I don't need much, and put it right here on this end. Alrighty. All right, so that's the first one. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. And like I said, don't worry if you have like a little bump or anything in it, because when I go back in to file it, you can file it out. So you'll be perfectly fine. So I'm just looking to make sure that I got it on there. All right, going back into the Mortimer. Like I said, always kind of tap your brush, because you don't want a whole bunch of the product. One of the little, a lot of the Mortimer on there, because you don't want it too wet. And then you're dragging it across. You're going to drag it across to get a bead like that. And you don't want the bead to be too big. And then you're just going to place it down and then try to pat it into place. So right now, this is one bead that we're using to kind of pat into place to fill up our bottom half. And then we'll add a second bead to kind of get the top half. And again, guys, my first time doing this, so my nails aren't perfect. I know it, but I'm teaching myself, and hopefully for those of you that want to learn, we can learn together. Okay, nail number 2. Wipe your brush. go back into the Mortimer, the acrylic liquid, and get it wet. Kind of brush it off a little bit because you don't want it too wet. Drag. I'm dragging. I'm not dipping. I'm dragging it across the acrylic powder to get a bead on there. And if I need to go back over one of the other nails, then I will. So, like I said, I did not go with the acrylic initially because to me, acrylic is a harder process. I think dip powder to me is so much easier to apply. Okay, I'm gonna have to go over this one again. And this brush I thought was going to be super bad for the process because it's so big. I thought I needed a smaller brush, but I think this brush wasn't too bad. Okay. And you'll know that the application is dry when you kind of take your brush and tap it on your nails. You should hear it like, you know, the sound where it kind of like bounces off with a little click. Okay, we're almost there in the home stretch. So I'm only using 2 beads. I'm trying to use only 2 beads where I do 1 bead in the bottom and then come up and fill in the top. But you don't want it to look like you have one part filled and the other part not. But like I said, don't worry about any clumps because you can take those out in the filing process. So this is what it looked like so far. That's 4 nails done. And I will look them over and see if I need to hit one of the other ones again. But just take your time, guys, because if you're like me, it's not going to be perfect this first time. I don't expect this first application to be perfect because, like I said, it's my first time doing it. So for someone that may be watching that is experienced at this, don't judge me too harshly because I'm just teaching myself. All right. So I'm sure like I got really good with Nail Boo, I'll get really good with this. And then probably by the time I get good with this, I'll switch back over to dip powder. But like I said, I'm only doing this so that I can let my nails grow. Because my nails seem to have grown better with acrylic than it is with the dip powder on this hand for some reason. All right, I'm gonna turn this around. And I'm gonna go in again on the thumb. Kind of hit it right here in this middle. And I got a little bit too much Mortimer that time. So it's going to take this one a little bit longer to cure, to dry. But I'm not going to cry. I'll just go back and look at these others. So like the pinky I did first. So what you want to do is just kind of tap. And you want to listen for it. If it sounds like that, then you know the application is dry. It normally takes about 3 to 5 minutes. That one is still wet, and of course that one is wet. But I'm going to hit this one again because I can kind of see a little area in there that is kind of looking at me. So I'm kind of hit it on the bottom here. Kind of try to fill that little area in. All right. So that's a little bit better. So far, everything looks good. I'm going to hit the thumb one more time, and then I'm going to call it quits, I believe. So I'm just going to hit my thumb one more time. And you just want to make sure, guys, that you don't have any areas that have like openings on the side, because if you do, then the product is going to water is going to get up under there and it won't hold and last as long as you need it to. But I think for a first time, and this is my left hand, my right hand, I think I didn't do too bad of a job. So we got 2 fingers that need to dry, my index and my thumb, but the others are pretty dry. So I'm going to go ahead and put the application up here. There we go. All right, so at this point, we're just waiting we're 43 minutes in, and that's one hand. 43 minutes, guys, and that's one hand. So, like I said, not perfect, but not terribly bad for a first time. I just want to make sure that, my hands both look normal, and so I got one fake nail or one artificial nail, and then these are my nails. So that's what I got going on. So I'm looking just to see what everything looks like. I don't want them lumpy and bumpy. So at this point, I'm going to go in and file whatever I need and get them all nice and pretty here. And once I do that, then I'm going to put oil, a little bit of oil. Then I'm going to wash my hands, and then I'm going to go on with my polish and my top coat. That is what I shall do. Now, like I said, I'm not good with polishing nails, okay? So thank God I'm not stressing about it, because I'm not good with polishing nails at all. That's what I like about the dip powder, is once you dip it, you don't got to worry about no polishing. And I know that they have some dips out there, but I'm not sure if I can use it. I have to keep doing some more research. All right, so I'm just going to take a little wooden stick here. You want to listen for that sound. That one's still wet. The thumb and the middle finger is kind of still wet. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just feeling to see if I feel any imperfections, like any little bitty bumps. And I feel a little bump right there. And I'm just going to file it just a little bit. And always go behind the nail with your file, just to kind of make sure everything is nice and smooth. And I feel a little bitty bump right there. You want to get that out. Okay. And I always, even when I was doing the dip powder, I would always make sure that I get any bumps and ridges out before I go in with our soft file. I call the flexi file. I get the hard stuff out first. But as you can see, guys, hopefully you can see that, but there's no like clump where it's going like boom, like that. I don't want a hump. I didn't want a hump in there because my nails don't have that hump in there. And so I want to make sure that, you know, we get it right. So this one doesn't have any bumps, so I'm just going to go behind the nail. And let's see if we... Okay. And this one we just need to file here. Okay, looking good. All right, so we got a whole hand done. You guys can see that good. And all I'm going to do now is I'm going to go in with the soft file and buff them out so that we can now get them all nice and smooth. Okay. And you just want to feel, again, just to make sure everything feels nice and smooth. Still feel like I feel like a little bump right there. Okay. There's like a little bump right there. Okay. All right. Like I said, not bad for a first time with acrylic powder. All right, so at this point, I'm just going to take a little bit of oil and, you know, I'm just going to put a little oil on the cuticle areas and rub that in. And then I'm going to wash my hands here and get ready to polish. You can use nail oil. You know, if you have a little bit of, you know, hand oil that you can use, you just want to kind of take care of, always take care of your cuticles. If you don't take care of your cuticles, they're not going to take care of you. Okay, I'm going to wash my hands. All right. Dry my hand. Make sure we get all excess oil and water and soap off before we go on with this fingernail polish. This is like the worst part for me because I don't like polishing nails. That's why I love the dip. So I will keep you guys posted on if I change dip products. I'll probably use it for like a week and then see how it goes before I introduce it to you guys. That's why I wanted to do this hand first to see if I could get through the application process for this acrylic before I try to show it to you. I'm 51 minutes in, so you can see it takes longer, guys. I don't think it's because I'm new to this, but it just takes longer to do acrylic to me. All right, so we're going to go in with our fingernail polish now. Bought this little color here that I thought was like really, really pretty. Nothing expensive. So I'm just going to go in and polish it. I'm just going to do like 2 coats on each finger. You guys remember when we would go to the nail salon? I say that like it was like 20 years ago. But you guys remember when we would go to the nail salon and they would put 2 and we always felt like 2 wasn't enough? You know, and then they want to charge you extra if you want more than 2 coats. Crazy. Craziness. Stuff we go through. All right, so just outward strokes, guys, to polish your nails. If you've been doing the nail boo and you choose to do this, it's the same concept with the outward strokes as with the nail boo when you're applying the base liquid to your nails and the activator and the top coat. It's just outward strokes. And then I'll come back with the second coat and make sure everything is nice and covered up. And I will keep you guys updated on the status of how this held up for my first time. I would go get my nails done once every 2 weeks when I had acrylic or when I wore acrylic nails. And like I said, I never had any problems with my nails growing. So I don't know why this right hand is giving me such a hard time. So hopefully my camera goes all the way through with the process and don't cut off. But if it does, the only thing I'm going to do after this is just put another coat and then come back in with the top coat, and then I will be done. So I could have paused the video during the process, but I wanted you guys to see. I always like to do the first video, the whole process all the way through, just so that you can see, you know, what it's going to look like. So that's 1 coat. This is 2 coats. So I'm going to put another coat on. Just going to shake it up here. I bought this other color I'm going to show you here, which I thought was really pretty too, and I couldn't make up my mind which one I wanted to use. And then I finally went with this one, but I thought this one was really pretty too. All right, so going in with the second coat. And on the second coat, I make sure that everything is covered. Last thing you want is for the sides of your nails not to be, polished. So you guys can see it's now coming to life. So, like I said, I'll keep you guys posted on how long it lasted and everything. I might even come on and just show you with a little quick video of what they look like week 1, week 2. Hopefully they will last me like my 2 weeks would when I would go into the salon. All right, here we're coming along. But just so you guys know, Nail Boo, I think that, I don't know if it's the application of the product, but it seemed like the more I used the same container to do my, like your feels, not really feels because you're reapplying the application all over again. I don't know. It seemed like the product wasn't as good as what it was when I used it for the first time. It seemed like each time I would have more lifting of my nail or the application from my nails. And it just, I don't know. It just didn't, it just started failing me. So I needed a resource to jump in, an alternative to jump in so I can get my right hand growing. And I know I had really good experience with acrylic. So what better way to try acrylic? Something that's not very expensive. And if it doesn't work, you only spent less than $20. Nail Boo is 50 bucks. And that's just for the starter kit with one color. All right, I'm gonna grab this, get this side over here on my big finger, my thumb. And we're done. All right. So now all I'm gonna do is just apply the top coat. And I only did one coat of the top coat. And then I'm done. So you can see on one hand, it took me about an hour to do just one hand. And with Nail Boo, the dip powder, I'm not going to say Nail Boo, but just the dip powder, I could do both hands in that time frame. So I will definitely be going back to a dip. I just don't know if it's going to be Nail Boo. All right, almost done. And I will show you what they look like. I'm just glad to have two almost matching hands now, because I have been working now for the longest with that other hand just being short, and that's why I hadn't been coming on doing the Nail Boo, even though I still have been wearing Nail Boo up until now. I just took the last Nail Boo off my nails this morning. All right, and we're on the thumb. And I only put one nice layer of the top coat to kind of seal everything in there. And I'll show you here in just a moment. So I'm gonna get that side. It's nothing like doing your nails and then they don't, you know, you hit them and they don't look right. You don't want that. So just be careful because it ain't like dip powder. All right, so that is it, guys. My nails are done. And, you know, I'm sure when they dry, they'll darken up like this hand. But that's it. That's the process with the acrylic all the way through. So it's supposed to last about 2 weeks. And we're going to see, because like I said, I'll come on and I'll do a video of week 1 at the end of week 1. So next, what's today? Tuesday. Next Tuesday, I'll come next Monday. I'm claiming Tuesday already. I'll come on next Monday and I'll show you my nails to let you see where I'm at with week 1, and hopefully they're still on. But I'll show you where, whatever it is, I'll show you where I'm at with week 1. So like I said, this hand is my nail except for this one. These are my nails. So what I did is I just put the acrylic on top of my nail. There is no tip. Okay, but this one has a tip, and then of course you just saw me put a tip on all of these. Okay, so it'll be interesting to see how the ones with just acrylic versus the ones with the tips pretty much hold up, but I will let you know either way. So again, this is the Kiss application. I got it from the beauty supply store. It was $15.99. It comes with everything you need besides scissors, fingernail polish. Okay, so this is, and this was the natural kit, so it's going to give you, you know, the natural look unless you get fingernail polish to polish them. And they do have acrylic dip powder, which you can use that, guys. And then when you file off the color, you'll come back to the clear. And then all you have to do is do your feel with the clear and then repolish again. I don't want to go through all that, so I just did the fingernail polish. So I'll just remove the fingernail polish and then feel, you know, feel instead of having to reapply the application all over again. Okay, so that was that's one of the pros for acrylic, is that you do feels and not a complete new application. Okay, that's the good thing about acrylic. Now they say acrylic is harder on your nails than dip powder. I think they're both hard on your nails. I don't care what nobody say. They're both hard on your nails. Okay. Because even after you take off the acrylic, even after you take off the dip, you're still going to have to use some type of hardener on your natural nails. So even though your nails grow out, and you guys can see how my nails have grown, and I've cut my thumb several times because that one seems to really grow really, really fast. But they both are wear and tear on your natural nails when they grow out. So you will always have to use some type of really good hardener on top of your nails. If you ever decide to leave products alone like dips and acrylic, then you will have to use some type of hardener. Otherwise, you're going to defeat the purpose of allowing your nails to grow out. They're just going to break really, really easily, especially when you put your hand in water. Forget it. It's over. Okay. So I just want to put that out there. But that's it, guys. Kiss acrylic powder, Kiss acrylic application. Like I said, I'll come back on next Monday and the Monday after if they last for that 2 weeks and just show you what they look like. But wish me luck, because Lord knows I do not want to have to do my nails between now and the next 2 weeks. Okay. If you have any questions, guys, about the process or anything you saw here, just let me know. The kit again, beauty supply store, $15.99 is how much I paid. If you find the kit that has the apple flavor in it, and it costs more than this kit does, don't buy it. Just get the regular kit, because I saw someone on YouTube that had that apple flavoring, not apple flavoring, but apple smell, which was to alleviate the smell of the Mortimer, and they said it didn't work. They still smelled, the Mortimer still stink like it does. Okay, it's Mortimer. You know, I mean, what can I say? So anyway, that's it, guys. I'm happy with the outcome. I didn't think I was going to be able to get through the right hand so easily, but you saw me go through the whole process. I did not pause the video at any time. So you saw everything. So hopefully you guys can see that. Pretty good. And like I said, it's not the best, but better than what you saw in the beginning. All right, guys, to those that have been following me for Nail Boo, I'm not saying that my Nail Boo journey is over. It may be, but if it is, it's because I have chosen to go with a different dip product other than Nail Boo. Okay, so I'm only using this acrylic temporarily until my right hand grows out like I need it to, and I can get them both, you know, this hand even up with this one, and then I'm going to go back to the dip powder. How long that's going to take? Hopefully not long, because the acrylic process to me is much longer. All right, this video has been going 1 hour and 6 minutes. But I wanted you to see the process all the way through, so now I just have to wait and allow my hand to dry and be extra careful. The good thing is that I do have in this kit, now that I think about it, in this kit that I also got, it's a kit as a kiss kit as well, and I got this from the beauty supply place as well, and I think I paid like $15 for it, but it has the little fan on the end that I can actually use. Oh Lord, I think I might need some batteries, but I'll put some batteries in here. I must have left it on at some point in time, and then I could just put the fan on my nails. So this was another really good product. I just need to put some batteries in here. But that's it, guys. If you have any questions about this process that I have done with this acrylic, then please reach out and let me know. Like I said, I'm not 100% saying that I'm done with Nail Boo. Maybe. And when I hit 2,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel, I'm going to be doing a giveaway. So stay tuned for that. And to those that follow me for my crafting tutorials, you know I'm going to be crafting until I die. All right. So again, have any questions, reach out. Let me know anything I can help you with on this process. I will. Any questions I can answer that I did not answer during the recording, let me know. And I'll see you all next Monday for an update on the process and how it held up and if it's holding up. All right. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Thank you, guys. And you know, my motto is each one reach one so that each one can teach one. And you guys have a great day and keep your nails looking good. Okay, ladies? Bye.